And we are back. Isaac Rosenthal here, joined by Inaki Gonzalo. Second night in a row. It's the biggest game in Lane United's club history, arguably. They got the win last night, the 1-0 victory over top of the table Calgary Foothills. The goal coming in the 80th minute from Stefan Tomasevich, created by Jose Carlos Terron off of looked like just kind of a nothing ball played downfield, and then Terron able to somehow kind of get between two guys. Ball took a bounce, came right up to him, and he chipped it over the keeper to a wide open Tomasevich, and there you go, 1-0 in the 80th minute. The Reds held on for dear life from there, come away with the 1-0 win. Now they are tied on points, but behind on goal difference. Calgary technically still in the lead in this division, but a win tonight would move the Reds into sole possession of first place, and how great does that sound? We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Reds, and very, very different look than last night. Why wouldn't it be? Only a couple of folks in the lineup, at least in the starting lineup that played last night. Ben Willis is back in goal. Jose Carlos Terron went 90 minutes, as did Matthew Coffey. Chubb Fertal came on late, as did Sam Tweeton. And the rest of the starters for Lane United: Josh Nooncaster, the other center back; Jason Eng, the other fullback; Armando Fio and Matthias Binder round out the midfield. And then up front, it's Alberto Cobos and Nate Bratton. Now, what do you think of those 11 for John Gallus?
As you mentioned, there are only two players that played the whole 90 minutes yesterday. The only other player that actually participated in the game is Chaffertal, but it was just only in the last 15 minutes. So it's a whole different team with all the positives in terms of being more ready physically, but also all the questions about how the team is going to meld together and how it's going to be performing from the minute zero. Usually when the team hasn't played together, it takes a little bit of time. And actually that time is what Foothills is going to have on their favor, and the more time goes on, it's going to be on their negative, right, and detrimental, because they only made 5 changes from their starting 11. So they are going with their kind of a mix, but pretty much their best team.
Yeah, one of the folks not in the starting 11, although he is on the bench for Calgary, Dominic Russo, and we saw he was an absolute pest for the Lane United back line to deal with, although I'm not sure that you like it much better. Kyle Jones, one of the replacements for him in the starting lineup. Jones nearly stole the draw late for Calgary yesterday.
But surely it's an important element, what you just mentioned. The fact that Dominic Russo is not playing changed the way they attack, because number 19, Zakaria, is more a mobile forward. It's not a target forward who just play with the body. So it's gonna be a different challenge for Josh and Sam Tweeton. But I think that it's a little bit sign of relief for Lane United as a whole. But let's see how the whole game evolves from now on.
And there is Kyle Jones for Calgary, and goes down, but no call made against Jason Eng, and he'll clear that one down. Headed by Cobos, and now trying to keep it alive for Lane United to Binder, and they do get it to him. Binder did not feature in the game for Lane United yesterday. May see him go a full 90 tonight. He's a quick little player in midfield for Lane United. One of the other notable folks missing from the lineup for Lane United, Akeem Ward. We'll get to that in a moment as this goes right through for Bauche, and Bauche takes the shot on goal, and the early lead for Calgary Foothills only 2 minutes into the game, and way too easy for Bauche. Got through.
Way too easy, but this is something that we were watching also yesterday. The movement of Bauche without the ball was causing a lot of problems yesterday also to Lane United. Now, in this case, the difference has been that the defensive central defenders, Sam Tweedon and Josh, were in a different position. One was too high, the other one was too low, so that's why there was not an offside. But again, the runs behind from the midfield by number 4 are very, very dangerous. And on the other hand, this is what we were telling. This is expected because Foothill is going with their kind of best lineup, and they are going to go all the way in this first half, and they are going to still have the physical endurance. But let's see if Lane United goes slowly, taking the lead in the game.
Binder trying to play it to the wing there, went out of play towards Tyrone, so the throw for the visitors who now lead 1-0. It's the first goal Ben Willis has given up at home this year, and more threats now for Calgary, trying to get it through, but easily collected by Willis that time. Plenty of time left in this one still, of course. As Tyrone slid that for Binder, who now plays back to Noonkester. And back across for Tweeton. Armando Fio plays that one back, knocked down, and had just a look at the referee, but nothing more. Noonkester playing that one all the way to the back. Chubb for Tall tried to get it back and taken away Calgary. They'll play it right back through, and that time interrupting the progress was Fio. Foul goes against Calgary there, right around the center circle, and Lane United to take the quick restart. Chubb for Tall sliding it to the wing. We'll have to see if Tyrone, who went the full 90 last night, makes as many attacking runs as he did. Speaking of runs, here's another one up the pitch for Calgary. The shot this time goes wide.
Yeah, Sam Tweedon is having a hard time right now into the game, and he just played the whole 90 minutes against South Sound last week, and it's tough to get into the reading of the games without playing competitive games. So let's see if, in terms of the whole team, there is more understanding, more communication, also between the defensive members of the defensive line, and all the things put together, the team start to feel better about himself. And Sam start just forgetting the first goal and keep playing, which is what you have to do, win the next battle, that's all.
Certainly it can be tough to give up a goal that early, but the one silver lining of it is it gives you really a full game to make up for it.
And we saw against Sounders that Lane United scored the first goal, and even after that they were not feeling the game currently. So it's more to establish yourself beyond what the score actually says.
Sakaria whistled for the foul, and Fio will get it started by sliding it over to Tyrone, playing it back for Tweeton. Now to Eng on the wing. Eng's formerly played professionally in Hong Kong. Had to be quite the cultural experience for a young man to go over there and play pro ball in Hong Kong. Now Binder in the middle, plays it for Eng, and he will chase that down, plays the cross in, and couldn't get good enough control on that one behind the goal, no danger. Different keeper for Calgary tonight, it's Mitchell McCaw. And McCaw gets us back underway. Played it for Hyams. Hyams, another very effective player for Calgary last night, despite the clean sheet from Willis. Eng thought about moving forward, instead has to play back a bit to Chubb for tall, and now Tweeten again. Played to Eng, and taken away by Adakumbe. Binder now in the middle, trying to bounce off the contact. Instead, though, it's taken away by Calgary. And sliding in there to knock that one into touch for a corner.
Yeah, and we can
is that Tweeten?
Yeah, we can say the same thing we were saying yesterday about the set pieces and how important are in the game of Calgary Foothills. I think that Lane United is prepared in terms of personnel to defend these set pieces, but more than that is just the mentality and how attentive you are in those tighter spaces and in those crucial moments. So let's see actually how defend Lane United this first one.
So the corner to come up, and got a whistle before the play. Just trying to make sure everyone behaves themselves is Lucas Brooks. We saw emotions come in a little bit yesterday. And
I think
maybe some blood on a jersey?
I think Sam Tweedon it's out of the field, having some issues, and Cesar, the athletic trainer, is going to look up for him, I think. Yes.
And trying maybe attending to the pitch a little bit there. And we're gonna have a early substitution.
Yeah, John Steller is gonna come into the game for Sam Tweedon. Hopefully Sam is feeling all right soon, and yeah, we just wish him the best right now.
Yeah. Well, now we'll take the corner. They fake the short play and instead cross it in, and Willis pulls it out of the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, a substitution for Willamalane FC, coming in for number 29, Jason Eng.
And taken away again. Calgary continuing to be organized in their attack. Slide it to the back now.
Number 16, Sam Tweeden. Number 3, Jonathan Stadler.
Fakunle with it. Fakunle will think about going into the box himself and then tried to slide it through, towed away by Lane United, but Calgary will get back on top of possession. Pasquati with a quick touch, and now towards Fakunle in the box, and Coffey gets ahead to it. A little bit more control from Lane United this time, and Binder will slide it to Eng, and the Reds will set up. 12th minute. And Kobos with it now. First touch of consequence for him, and he slides it forward, but offside. Rather clearly there is Nate Bratton.
So 11 minutes into the game, and we have Lane United 1 goal down. We have already have 1 substitution, and more than ever, again, it's about establishing yourself as a team. Remember what you were preparing to execute during the game, and just trying to do it. So let's see if Lane United is able to do that step by step, little by little.
Stadler will chase that one down. And then Chubb for Tall for Tyrone. Back to Chubb for Tall in the middle of the field, and now Binder. Binder's got a man behind him, heard the footsteps, and was able to get it back safely to Noonkester. He'll slide it for Coffee. And Binder made a tackle. Now Binder a little slow to get up, but Calgary pressing up the field. Bauche played it off, and now back for Adekumbe. Adekumbe around Tyrone. Long shot from outside the box along the carpet and safely behind the goal line. Jason Eng now will try to play the long ball towards Kobos. Kobos got the header to it, and Pasquati running onto it knocked it into touch, so it's Lane United's throw-in in the Calgary half. Still looking for our first chance of consequence for Lane United. Chubb for Tall will play for Eng. And Eng tried to play for Bratton, but missed hit there. So Kuntle will play it back to the box, and now that comes for Binder, so quick giveaway. Coffee now, Eng moving out to the wing. Coffee's still with it, and now he'll play it for Eng. Bratton back to Matthias Binder, good step back from Binder. Another good dribble from Binder, and he'll now go for Eng with Coffee moving behind him. Coffee tried to knock that one down off the deflection, and he is in a bit of discomfort. We'll get the whistle.
Yep. But it's a good sign of what Lane United has to do moving forward. Foothills is pretty much doing the same thing they were doing yesterday. Of course, they are being very, very tight and compact on the defensive end, so they don't allow you to have many spaces in between the lines. But it's just right behind the midfielders, and the space between the midfielders and the fullbacks, the one that Lane United has to exploit in attack.
Foothills moving up the pitch now, the quick give and go involving Kyle Jones, then they moved it to the wing, and now making slow progress back centrally before it's taken away by Binder. Another throw in coming for the visitors, who lead 1-0. Trying to move back 3 points atop the league is Calgary. They came into this weekend 3 points clear of second place Lane United. That lead gone after last night, although if the season were to end yesterday, would have still been Calgary's league title on goal difference. They're whistled there for the foul.
And I think that, of course, this is coming from the locker room, but Coffee has already identified also that thing. He can move more freely in between behind the midfield and the defensive line. So Coffee or Filio and one of the forwards have to occupy that space, making the only holding midfield that they have, which is Adekumbe, having trouble to cover so much space. If Lane United is able to do that, Lane United will produce more opportunities than yesterday.
Offside goes against Lane United there. And Bauche will play it back all the way to the goalkeeper. Theo on the ball now for the Reds, with Bauche and Northover closing in on him. Binder doing a good job of keeping possession there. Now they'll play for Kobos, and Kobos knocks it back for Eng. The keeper falls down and the flag stays down, and Eng's ball goes wide of the box there, but Fio is on it. Fio trying to cross it in. Another Lane United throw coming up.
Yeah, it was a tough decision for Kobos, if trying to turn around and just shoot to the goal or going for some help. But another thing that we have seen is that their goalkeeper is having some doubts. So that's also something that you have to take advantage until the keeper also establishes himself in the game. Because again, this is not their starting keeper.
And that throw will just barely be kept in by Takunfle there. And some speed and dribbling there. Got through 3 men, but couldn't get past a 4th. And Binder takes over and will play back to Stadler. Trying to be methodical are the Reds. And the long ball there towards Tyrone, didn't get all the way to him. Pasquati will take over in possession for Calgary. Now they'll try and play it again up towards Sakaria. Top of the box. Not able to get by Tyrone there. He'll play the long ball. Kobos chasing. And Kobos could move forward. Instead, he'll kind of slow down a little bit, try and get around the midfielders, and still in possession is Kobos. Back for Binder. Can he keep it? He does temporarily around Bauche, and then gets it back for Jason Eng. And Eng back for Nooncaster, who's moving forward a bit for a center back, but everybody pressing up a little bit for Lane United right now. Chubb for Tall through the middle, hit the referee, and crowd will let you know how they feel about that, but could have been worse as Lane United does keep possession. Bausch and now Binder. Binder to the wing for Tyrone. Tyrone plays the cross in. Coffey could be there, does get the header, and maybe not quite so much. Kept alive and knocked down by a hand there, I think.
So there is good ball movement by the Reds right now, and I think that they are getting what they want. It's only a matter of being really more aggressive when in the final third. There is still too much doubt when the ball comes near to the box, and in those situations you just have to be very, very quick in the decision. And again, I think that the goalkeeper is giving too much space to the attacking players actually. So Lane United should benefit as soon as possible of those situations. And I think that one of the good points, one of the good signs up to this moment is the play by Alberto Cobos. He's much more active, much more involved, and it's just a matter of being more aggressive in the final third.
Nooncaster trying to play for Tyrone. That's a ball Lane United played a few times last night, but turns into a chance for Calgary. And a good one as Bausch crosses that in. Tyrone's gonna chase it down. Has enough time to get it to Binder. Got it right back, and then now to Stadler. Trying to slow the game a little bit. Binder had Jones closing in, was able to keep it alive, and now it's to Chubb for Tall. Time to think about it for Chubb for Tall, but no time to get there for Eng. It'll go into touch, and throw in coming from Himes for Calgary. 20 minutes into this one. The visitors from the north with a 1-0 lead.
And right there we have the difference between the forward yesterday and the forward today. It's a little bit easier and manageable for Josh to work against number 19. Just because number 19 is a different kind of player, more mobile, more into spaces, and not so much using their body.
And persistence there from Coffey trying to get to that. He couldn't, but he made life difficult enough for Calgary that they gave the ball away. And Nooncaster will find Eng, and we'll do it all again. Eng just over the head of Bratton there, and it's Calgary's possession, but only temporarily. Stadler has to do a little bit of dribbling back towards his own goal to be able to find Nooncaster. And Kobos for Eng. Eng back to Mr. Stadler. Chubb for Tall collecting it behind the halfway line. And that ball played for Coffey, and he's just sort of shielded away from it. It's going to be a goal kick.
those balls in this field are very difficult to execute perfectly. It's just really, really complicated when the ball bounces, just goes so quick. But it's better than yesterday. The score is different than yesterday, but the way Lane United is attacking Foothills defensive formation is smarter and is better, but has to be more aggressive at the end. That's the only element that has to be improved so far for the Reds. And another thing I will mention is that John Steller is doing a good job. He was not ready to be in the starting 11. He just got into the game and he is already established in the game.
And Stadler played a full 90 last night too. Let's not forget that.
Yes, it's true.
And he's going to be asked most likely to play a solid 80 minutes or so tonight. Stuff happens. Calgary playing through Adakumbe. And now to Bauche. Bauche has been active once again tonight so far. Adakumbe plays out to the wing. Tyrone sizing up his man and makes a good challenge there to get the ball. Chubb for tall back for Tyrone, and he'll try to play long for Bratton. Knocked down. Can Binder get there? He may have gotten a touch, but Calgary got to it, and a little hectic in the middle of the field there, but eventually Foothills will play to their back line and then all the way back to Mitchell McCaw in goal. Bauche with it. Fakunle. Good ball played from Eng to take it away. And Coffey, looking at his options, will instead play back for Stadler. Reds trying to establish some shape. Bender back for Nooncastle. You gotta watch those Calgary forwards because they'll really pressure those passes to the back line.
Yeah, we can see right now they have 6 players in the half of the Reds doing the press. But yeah, this is exactly. But that's the area where Lane United has to attack. Right behind that line of midfielders. It's complicated, but it will come.
Binder shielding the ball away from Fakunle, who went down on the play and came up with the shrug. We've seen a little bit of that from both squads already, and just casual play from McCaw, and you've mentioned that a few times already. Will establish some possession for Lane United. Binder, and knocked away from him. Here's a counter-attack for Calgary. I'll slow it down now a little bit. Bauche plays it back for Adakumbe in that holding midfield role for Calgary. Nice ball there from Zator, and then Adakumbe, but Jones wasn't able to get on it cleanly. Offside it would have been.
Yeah, I think that offensively, Foothills is pretty much only causing problems through the runs from behind by number 4, Bauche. That's the only element that Lane United hasn't identified how to control. But so far, the wings, number 12, Pasquori, is very pacey, very quick. But between Terron and Stadler and Filio and Casey, they are holding him.
And that ball, long ball played along the pitch, but Bratton would have had to have been a lot faster to catch up to that one.
Yeah, again, it's very difficult with the wind and the quickness of this field.
Yeah, the wind, the turf.
Yeah.
We're dry right now, but ominous skies, and that is only going to make that ball play quicker if we do get some rain. McCaw's goal kick goes over the head of Bauche, but it'll come right back to him. Some players just seem to have a magnet for the ball in their feet. And Ben Willis gets us started again We mentioned it once already, but Willis went the full 90 for Lane United yesterday. Barraza is available on the bench, but took quite the knock in the first half of the Sounders U23 game, and may have a lot to do with why Willis is still in goal. Binder trying to move forward, or Kobos. Now back to Binder. And wind had something to do with that one, as Eng trying to get it away from Fakunle, who's again shrugging. Binder back to Nooncaster. Binder with a couple of dribbles, slid it back for Nooncaster. Not much pressure on him there, but not many options either. And he plays it back for Chubb for Tall across to Stadler. 29th minute of play. Reds trailing at home this year for the first time, but still very manageable at 1-0. The goal coming in the opening moments from Bauche. Theo having a back and forth pass there with Nooncaster before he himself got it to Chubb for Tall. But then taken away, and now a counter-attack. Kyle Jones running on possession. They'll slide it back for Takunle. Takunle and Nooncaster confident on it. A brick wall there, and Eng tried to play it along the ground. Knocked out into touch by Calgary. And Binder was pestered there and was the last one to touch it. Adakumbe. Back for McCaw. Kobos, a little bit of pressure on him, and McCaw plays it now for Hyams. It's going to be Lane United's possession. Calgary thought different. Bauche losing control, but now it's a chance for Lane United. There's Binder from distance, and that shot was curling down a little bit, but not quite enough.
On one side, it's good that he is aggressive in that situation and he goes for the shot. But at the same time, that situation, there were two other teammates probably in a better position to go for the goal. It's very important in the middle, just talking about Matias Binder, as well as yesterday was Vicente Mora. There is no lot of space in that position for them. So you have to play very quick and in one or two touches. And it's going to be an adjustment for Matias, because they are really tight on the middle. And that's a moment in which you only have to deliver by one or two touches.
Bratton pressured Zator there, and McCaw nearly getting himself in some trouble again. Matthew Coffey to take the throw in for Lane United, finds Binder and will get it right back. Coffey then slides for Kobos, knocked away by Calgary. Bauche again, pressured by Binder, and Eng will be whistled for the infraction there. Just got enough of Toka Fakunle to draw the whistle. Adakumbe will instead not take the free kick.
They are taking their time because they have the score on their favor. It's going to happen more and more often.
And Pasquati knocked that one down. Stadler will follow its path, but watch it go out of play. Chubb for Tall playing forward towards Bratton, headed out. Hyams got the head on it.
Trying to find those spaces between the midfield and their defensive end. Matthew Coffey and Armando Filho is on side yet.
And some dangerous touches in their own box from Calgary. Hasn't come back to haunt them yet.
So I was saying Matthew Coffey and Armando Filho have interchanged their positions. trying to mess up a little bit more their defensive line. It's always an interesting movement to do.
And Hyams again with some words for the linesman. Thought that Kobos was offside there. Tyrone able to sky that one. Tall heads it back, but it's Bauche on the ball. Bauche now trying to create something, and dancing around in the box there was Pasquati. Hyams on it, and that one's skied. It is, in fact, Calgary's ball along the touchline. Hyams will take the throw. 33rd minute. A 1-0 lead on the second minute goal from Bauche. Whistle against Calgary that time.
These are 12 very important minutes for Lane United, because I think that they have had the best of their game in the first half, except for the first 3-5 minutes. But at the same time, it's expected that Foothills, yeah, that's not a good pass. It's expected that Foothills is going to come in the second half with Dominic Russo, maybe with Graham Fisher, so with more firepower in the attack, and we know how difficult they are to defend. So hopefully Lane United has to, can produce some chances in this last quarter of the first half.
Hyams into the box, and chance for Pasquati, but he takes the shot. There was a more dangerous moment there. Didn't see the numbers striding through the box, but would have been an opportunity to put a header on goal. Instead, it went back for Pasquati and didn't get a very strong shot off. Ended up never an easy save, but a comfortable one for Willis.
Yeah, Pasquati didn't get full contact with the ball.
Nooncaster to Binder. And back Stadler. Stadler trying to play for Coffey, but knocked down in the middle of the field by Calgary. They'll take possession. Only very temporarily. Now Armando Fio back for Binder. And it's Coffey. Coffey's slid out to the wing kind of a few times. Take some attacking pressure off of Tyrone and let him conserve those legs a little bit after the 90 minutes. Very active 90 minutes he played last night. Nooncaster's ball for Binder. Now to Tyrone. Coffey on it, perhaps, is Coffey, and trying to keep it alive. Matt does it. Good dribble there, and did Calgary able to control that one. Ends up sliding to the goalkeeper, McCaw.
Yeah, it was a good combination by Tyrone and Matthew Coffey.
Bounces over Eng there, and still Calgary with it before Matthias Binder came in to take it away, but Kyle Jones with some pressure. Reds have to move quickly there, and now they'll get it back a little bit more time and space. Chubb for Tall back for Stadler. Sounds like we may have a little bit of drizzle starting. As Fio looks up to find Binder. Reds again, just that triangle in their own half for now. And then Nooncaster for Bratton. Bratton back to Nooncaster. And Stadler headed Bauche, and Stadler again puts his forehead through it. Binder keeping it, and Binder certainly pulled down there.
That's a savvy fault. It was a dangerous opportunity for the Reds, and he got the foul without any yellow card. That's a savvy movement by number 4.
could have maybe been a booking there, but not the worst call in the world not to give it. Certainly up to the discretion of the referee. My opinions on the matter don't really go very far. Matthias Binder again with it. He draws more than a few fouls for Lane United. Noonkester across to Stadler. 38th minute, still time for the storylines to change here in this first half.
And it seems that the referee is not going to call any yellow card, but another way in which you give a yellow card is when the team, not just one player, has made consecutive fouls. So I would say that the yellow card should be coming soon for the Foothills because they are interrupting the flow of the game by the Reds right now. And it's the role of the referee to see those things.
Chubb for Tall trying to find Teron, but Foothills able to take it away. Binder giving chase, but they'll play back for Adakumbe. Sliding now to Hyams. Hyams with some options. Instead will slow down and play all the way to the back for Zator. Zator with Kobos pressuring him, plays back to McCaw. And McCaw at the top of his box, and we saw Dylan Powley do the same yesterday. Foothills not afraid to use their keepers to set up the attack, but it's looked a little bit hectic tonight.
I would say that in the case of Powley, it was definitely part of the game. It was more natural. In the case of McCaw, it's a little more reactive. When he's under pressure, he just he just kicked the ball, but it's not part of their game plan, as natural as with their starting goalkeeper.
Brief touch for Willis before he got it to Noonkester, and now building up the ring through Eng, and dribbling out is Bauche there. Eng's throw back to Noonkester. Josh is going to have to chase it down and plays back for Willis. 40th minute, 1-0 still our score. The goal came, if you missed it, it was very early. You'd be forgiven. Mitchell Bauche broke through on a nifty little run and put Calgary up 1-0 before we'd gotten into the rhythm of the game. That one gets by Bratton. For McCaw again, who's taking his time, and now will pick it up and slides it for Zator. Zator up to Hyams. And Hyams' ball, no one on the same page. Slid for Willis, and definitely some precipitation.
Yes, as well as lack of communication, but if we remember yesterday, it was just a moment of intensity, aggressivity or aggression by Akeem Ward. The thing that made the team going up and start feeling better about themselves. So you also win the games emotionally. So I would like to see more intensity, more emotion by the Reds. So hopefully some players, some just individual players, is able to do that and to communicate that to the other teammates, and then everybody just get fired for that.
Stadler got the head to that one. Theo with time plays back for Noonkester. And now they'll play for Kobos. Headed away, Zator's header, and the offside flag went up. McCaw will take the free kick here to restart. Headed down now, Jones, and misplay there leads to possession for Coffey. Coffey will slide it for Teron and deflect it out into touch off of Calgary. Coffey still with, and now it's Adekumbe to take it away. Jones and Stadler was coming. The footsteps were enough for it to go out and to touch off of Calgary. Then United with possession. 43rd minute. Second half may look very different if this rain doesn't pass through, and Ing couldn't control that one, so it's Calgary's possession. Himes will take the throw. Himes' throw. Adekumbe with the touch, got by Bratton there. And Adekumbe plays a nice ball in. Calgary wanted the handball, they won't get it. They do get some possession in the box, and Jones nearly able to break through there. Jones did get in the way of that, but only able to knock it into touch, and it's a goal kick anyway. Noonkester, and bad touch there, but just able to keep it alive. Chubb for tall for Coffey. Coffey's ball down the field. Didn't get through. McCaw puts his foot through it, and Coffey goes for the header and called for the foul. Is Coffey gonna get a talking to here?
What happens when you talk a lot as a referee and don't give yellow cards is that the the players realize about that, and so more fouls are gonna come until actually the yellow card comes. It's always a fine line, but
a little bit like a child seeing how far they can push mom and dad. What can you get away with? Mm-hmm. And so far, it's been a decent amount. Noonkester back for Willis there. We are into first half stoppage time. We had one goal and one injury stoppage, so we'll have a bit, but not much.
It's probably gonna be just 1 minute.
Northover heads that one how to play. It's the Reds throw in. Coffey with the restart. Binder back to Coffey and trying to get it back to Binder, but into touch. And that will be a booking. Looked like the Calgary player took a bit of a knock there, giving his throw in. Calgary's bench certainly reacting. And is that Teron?
Yeah, it's Carlos Terron, who just received the yellow card. And this is going to be the end of the first half as well.
And restarting again, into touch again. Calgary's throw again. Northover with the long one. Foul goes against the number 19, that is Sakaria. We again saw last night emotions come close to boiling over a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on it as this game progresses. Nooncaster walking with it. Touch for Fio, back to Nooncaster. Back to Binder, sliding all the way to the back. And that is the end of the first half. It will draw to a close with Calgary looking to regain sole possession of first place. They've got the 1-0 lead on the second-minute goal from Mitchell Bauche. And that's what it is. We saw really a strong first half from Lane United, in some ways stronger than they looked in the first half yesterday, but a quick goal at the beginning of the half, and that puts Calgary up 1-0. Lots of time for Lane United in the second half, and we could have some high drama as the rain's starting, the players starting to get on each other's nerves a little bit. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I only would like to add that I think that tactically, Lane United is playing a better game than yesterday. They are figuring out more ways to produce attack. But it's the thing that I am lacking, that the team is lacking a little bit, is just more heart, more intensity, and more aggressivity, more aggression in the final third. So I think that's something that you definitely can adjust, and it's not about being more or less tired, because as we mentioned before, Lane United is been playing with 8 players and with new 8 players. So I would definitely like to see more the team involved with the heart, with intensity, which is the way Lane United won the game yesterday as well.
So that's going to do it for us for the first half. We're going to take a quick break while we leave you with a word from our sponsor, and then we'll be back with you for the second half of play. One more time, after 45 minutes, Calgary leads 1-0, the second-minute goal from Mitchell Bauche. And now the word from our sponsor.
We're not willing to make that
Back with you for the second half, and it's a steep hill to climb for Lynn United in this half. They are only down 1-0. Things could be a lot worse, but they could also be a little bit better for the Reds right now. They'll start with possession in this half. Back to Stadler. Don't identify immediately any substitutions for either team. We think they're certainly coming, and there's some danger off the bench for each of these teams, certainly in this game. Dominic Russo may strike some fear into the hearts of Reds fans. He's available for Calgary as Teron was offside there. And then options certainly for Lane United. The Reds did have to make one sub early, very early in the first half. Sam Tweeten looked to be a little bit ill, had to be replaced by Stadler, and you certainly wish him the best.
Yeah, hopefully the team can give him a win as well, because he's probably feeling a little bit responsible about the first goal as well.
Binder's, that's slid forward now. Poked away, but Binder will come back and get it. Binder now for Bratton. Bratton into the box. Bratton's cross and is plucked down out of the air. But you were asking for aggression. There's a little bit of it.
Definitely, this is a game of emotions, and you win the game by building up on those ones. And the only thing is that in that play, I think that Nathan should have crossed instead of looking for the shot. But it's good that you mentioned, it's a good beginning.
And here's some dangerous moments briefly for Calgary. Will slide harmlessly into touch, but it's the Reds, or the visitors' throw, north over. For Pasquati, Pasquati into the box, deflected, and Willis able to jump on it. Whistle goes Calgary's way there. Just one yellow card handed out in the first half by the center referee, Lucas Brooks. Could have been worse to Jose Carlos Teron, and had a bit of a collision with a Calgary player taking a throw right in front of the Foothills bench. Escaped with the yellow, might have been a different color on another day. Binder now on the ball. Binder very good in possession and pulled that one back away from Bauche off the shin of Pasquati into touch, and the Reds' ball. Jump for Tall now played that one back to Tweeten, and we'll restart. Handful of moments into this second half. Kobos on the ball now, will play it all the way back for Chubb for Tall. Now Fio around Adekumbe. Back for Binder. Another touch to Fio, back to Matthias, and now back to Nuncaster and Stadler. Looking for Tyrone, there's a collision. And advantage played as the ball fell right for Calgary. Pasquati into the box and deflected away. Could hear that collision previously.
Carlos Teron has to be very, very careful with those situations. Even if this is a referee that doesn't wanna go for the cards, he's on the verge of getting the second one.
And we'll see if Carlos can calm down a bit, or maybe John Gallus calms him down for him. Goes with the substitution. Would expect to see Teron exit at some point in this half, just because he played the full 90 yesterday. Makes that decision a little bit easier to make when you're sitting on a yellow card.
Yeah, if that happens, it's unfortunate, because at the same time, Carlos is a vital key in the offensive part of the game for the Reds, as he showed yesterday.
And does look like we've got a sub standing ready to come in for Lynn United. Can't quite identify him by body shape. And the foul there right in front of the Red Aces goes against Lane United, and no one likes that call. Again, only one person whose opinion matters. Some of the Reds are discussing it with the linesman there, saying that maybe he could have identified something there, helped his ref out. As it is, though, Brooks makes the call against the Reds. Adekumbe and Hyams behind it.
Now leave all those things aside and just go with this set piece because it's very dangerous.
And speaking of dangerous, that cross was fallen out of the sky, nearly got behind Ben Willis, but it's out of play. And Eng is the one substituted. Is that Vanderveld?
Yes, it's Dirk Vanderbilt, yeah. So Carlos is going to stay on the game. He has to be very careful. I know that he can do, and he can still contribute to the team. And now Dirk is going to play on as a right defender, hopefully trying to be a little bit more aggressive. Jason Eng has had a good game in terms of defensive duties, but not as good in the offensive side. And finally, Foothills are going to receive the first yellow card, which it's well deserved as well.
And it's the guilty party there is Kyle Jones. A little bit physical and a little bit late on the tackle on Coffee there. Perhaps also, just like you mentioned, an accumulation factor to that one, just the cumulative effect of what we've seen Calgary do defensively. Long free kick for Lane United. Into the box, Chubb for Tall got ahead to it, and Bauche has no choice but to just head it into touch. A corner kick coming for Lane United. Binder looks like he'll slide over to take it.
And I think that we can say in these 5 minutes that Lane United is more going for the game. It's more like an aggression right now, more intense. Let's see it materialize.
Binder's corner for the heads, but plucked out of the sky. McCaw plays it for Jones, the cautioned player for Calgary. And now back Northover. Northover and Bauche. Bauche has the ball knocked away by Binder and slid forward now for Bratton. Bratton taken away, Pasquati. Pasquati around Taron. Toward the box, the ball's bouncing, he keeps it, and bouncing around in the box, Chubb for Tall able to clear, but dangerous moments for the Reds there. You don't want to go down 2-0. 54th minute in the throw from Calgary. Adekumbe touchback for Jones. And there's Taron. Stepped away. Pasquati. Good challenge from Taron. And again, it's back for Jose. And now Armando Fio on the ball. And knocked down by Jones. Look out, he's got a yellow card already. We've got some conversations between fans, players, officials. Everyone's got an opinion. Binder on the ball now for the Reds, trailing 1-0. Top of the table clash. Long ball played and may settle for Bratton. Instead, it's going to be a corner kick for the Reds. Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces.
And that was an error of communication between the goalkeeper and the defender. The goalkeeper told Sator to leave the ball away, thinking that it was going to be a goal kick. Instead, it's a corner kick. Hopefully, there can be a good deliver, because so far the deliver has not been that good.
Now into the box, and foul against the Reds there. I
would say that that's one thing that the Reds can definitely improve. the set pieces in general, but just the way the crosses are made. It's something to keep working. It's tough because of the wind that this field usually has, but I think that can be improved.
Yeah, the wind does tend to swirl here, and you've got 3 sides of the field that don't have any structures around them, and then that big pavilion, and the wind tends to be, it changes directions, mostly kind of perpendicular, but it'll sort of bounce back off of that building, create some issues. Here's Coffee now, and Coffee didn't play it too quickly, still with it, trying to enter the box. Now slides it around, and it's Vandervelde, Fio, Chubb for Tall. Still for Casey, now Teron keeping it alive, just barely does. Along the wing, cross in, headed. That bounce at Akumbe has to knock it back behind himself. Now Stadler trying to keep it. Chubb for Tall's header, but Calgary's possession, and they'll try and organize now. Noonkester chips it forward. Can Coffee knock it and keep it? He couldn't initially, but it comes back for him, and now Binder will run onto it. Binder all over the place, and played it in. This will come for Fio, the long shot, and some venom with that one, but it went wide.
I would say that was a handball, in my opinion, by Hutchins, I think, the defender by Calgary Foothills. And it would have been a very dangerous set piece for the Reds. Unfortunately, the referee thought otherwise.
Fio knocks it forward with his head. Well, got through some tight spaces there, kept alive for Calgary, and Bauche will now settle it back down. Coffee pressuring Bauche, slid again to the fullback. And Takunple there, and not much in that touch, but enough for the whistle. 58th minute.
Savvy player by number 19, Zakaria.
Yeah. And D to D pass over to Northover. Pasquati lost it, and Teron trying to play it for Bratton or Kobos, instead found the foot of Hutchings. And Jones's touch too much on it. Throw-in coming for Lane United. Vandervelde will take it. Vandervelde, the only sub of the second half so far for Jason Eng. Kobos now. Another throw coming for Lane United in the vicinity of their own bench. Coffee plays back for Binder. And now Chubb for Tall. More touches back. Binder to the wing. Ball deflected on its way to the middle, and stop me if you've heard this one before. Throw in for Lane United, but first, not first a substitution. One linesman held his flag up. Ball comes in and knocked down there. Chubb for Tall. Back for Binder. Coffee. And Chubb for Tall again, and this time it's Calgary's ball into touch, and now we'll get our substitution.
But much better by the Reds in attack. They are finally getting the through balls inside and then moving wide and getting the crosses. The crosses can be better, but the thing is that even with that, often the Reds are also finalizing the play. So it's much better by the Reds. And the intensity level just by the whole team is better, it's higher. So hopefully this trend continue to go for the Reds, and the goal is going to be close. And as you mentioned before, number 10, Graham Fisher, is on the field for number 11, the one with the yellow card, Kyle Jones.
Another whistle against Lane United that some of the fans may have questions about. Pasquati for Northover on the near side. Just about to reach the 1 hour mark here. And that's Lane United's ball. Tyrone has a red ace handed to him. And plays the long ball there. Bratton trying to knock it down. It's off the forehead of Hutchings. And a little bit difficult for Northover to control. Will turn into some possession for Lane United. Cobos, a lot of touches from Alberto there. Now it'll come down to the wing, but Vandervelde had a little trouble with that one. Bounced up and over him into touch. Calgary's throw and a substitution coming. And substitution for Lane United, it's going to be Stevens on and Fio off.
Yeah, same position, man for man.
Stevens was strong as a substitute. Yesterday, he's been strong as a substitute all season. Just moves around a lot, gets a lot of touches on the ball. Maybe pull some Foothills defenders out of position a little bit. Got a some kind of a delay here along the touchline. Now we've got a whistle.
If I am not wrong, the referee has, I think the referee has sent off Jason Eng because he's going to the locker room, supposedly because something he said.
Must have said some kind of magic word as he was walking off the pitch. Or from the bench.
It's interesting the way sometimes the games are officiated and people who is outside the game are sent off instead the people who is on the game are in the game the whole 90 plus minutes. Interesting.
Tyrone, that pass knocked away, the deflection there, and nothing in that for the referee.
It's much more intense, much more hectic. Emotionally, everything gets higher and higher in this second half. It's going to be very, very interesting until the last moment, this second half.
Lucas Brooks has maintained some semblance of control, but it's teetering. Stadler with it. Reds trying to tap that emotion and use that aggression to their favor. Jump for tall for Daly. First touch for Mr. Stevens will find Tyrone, and Tyrone's ball out for Cobos. Not quite perfect. Adacumbe. And Bauche plays it back for Northover. 64th minute. Adacumbe had Binder shadowing him to get it back to Northover. Will now play it down. Had Pasquati there, and instead Fisher's ball a little bit misplayed will roll to Willis, who collects, and Nooncaster moves it up. Vandervelde for Binder and back to Nooncaster. Tyrone again waiting to make a run on one wing. Ball rolls into touch, and it is Calgary's. Fisher plays it back. Northover down, and pass for Bauche was intercepted. Stevens, Taylor Stevens still with it, and Stevens knocked down, and that will be a foul. No booking in it, though, I don't believe. Brooks does not like to go to his pocket. And Tyrone with a quick free kick back for Binder and back to Stadler. a little bit too far out to do much of a design play there, so they'll try and get it organically, Willamalane United. In to touch the Reds' throw. Coffee restarts back for Chubb for Tall.
Let's see if this intensity and this domination by the Reds in this second half traduces as well, or translates as well, into getting and winning the second balls, the lost balls, because in these last minutes of the game, those are going to be very, very important, and that's another way in which you actually create offense and good opportunities by winning those second balls. Because the game is not, in terms of purity, is not easy to play. So you have to win it just by winning the battles again.
And Binder intercepts that, or keeps it for Lane United. Stadler plays it through, and quick touch was off of Calgary. Good job by Tyrone to recognize that. And it's the Reds' throw. Stevens through some physical play and draws another foul, does Daly. And little bit like Matthias Binder, Daly Stevens he's just a quick little guy that's going to draw some contact just from moving around so quickly, and that'll turn into some set piece opportunities if you can draw a foul in the right part of the field.
Let's see if now the delivery is a little bit better and gives more chances to the men in the box.
Coffee's delivery. And that one easily done from McCaw to grab it. As you have already alluded to, Calgary, no reason to be in any hurry there, and McCaw did take his time. Vandervelde watches that one go out. Reds throw coming. 68th minute. Subs shuffling around for both teams. Nearly 160 minutes so far over the course of a little bit over 24 hours. Back to Willis and Chubb for Tall now. It's been good in the second half from Lane United. Looked good for much of the first half too, but really only one stat that makes the difference. Calgary with the edge in that one. Close quarters in the middle of the park there. It's a foul against Lane United.
Ladies and gentlemen, the attendance for tonight's game is 382.
And quick free kick there, deflects off of a Lane United player, and get a delayed whistle there. And is it a handball?
No.
Or
he's giving the yellow card just because he considers that he was not given enough space to take the free kick.
They were playing quick though. It's a little interesting to me.
It is, and the referee actually kind of thought about it and then took the decisions at the end. But it's just a little interesting to see how these little things are the ones getting the yellow cards, and the actual faults and tackles are not getting anything. It's just part of the way it's officiated, and it's something that you recognize and continue to play.
Because we certainly saw it yesterday, and we've seen it many times before that. One team will look to play a quick free kick, and somebody else on the opposition will come right up there until they're told to move back the 10 yards. No such short leash.
And I don't like to speak about the referees, but usually what this kind of referee does to the players is that they get into that little things too much and get a little bit out of the game. And then on the other hand, they go with aggressive tackles because those tackles are not called, which is it's not what you expect when you are playing the game. Meanwhile, number 17, Tofa Fakule, is out of the game, and instead it's in Ramsey, who also had some minutes in the second half yesterday.
Misplay from Calgary there, having to chase it down is Northover. And will now play toward the middle and got over everyone's head. Tyrone now having to use his body just to get in between Willis and Bauche there, or Pasquati, excuse me.
But let's see if we all continue just focusing on the game, and the players as well, and continue producing good ball movement and circulating the ball and more chances. As you were mentioning before, Daley Stevens has been a very good addition to the team in these last minutes, getting those balls in between the lines and producing more movement. So more is about to come if Lane United is able to continue with the flow of the game and not getting into those fouls and stopping and interruptions.
Vanderveld's long ball looking for Kobos. Bounced off his head. Northover put his foot through it. Going to come between the two number 8s, Binder and Adekumbe. Adekumbe won that battle, but was only able to get it to a red shirt. Now an opportunity perhaps with numbers for Calgary, and the foul goes against Binder there. And the card going to come against Binder.
It's again one moment in which Matthias struggles a little bit to recognize that he's surrounded by many players and he has to just go with 1-2 touches. Foothills really surrounded you by many players in the middle of the pitch, and it's just tough to maneuver because there is no space.
Boot came up a little high there. Looks like Willis will just get us restarted, but he plays quickly to Vanderveld. And now Chubb for Tall, 72nd minute. Reds just need one stroke of brilliance to equalize. Binder slid it out to the wing, and now it's back for Noonkester again. Plenty of time to get it done, but that clock's gonna start accelerating for the folks in red. Northover's header forward, Pasquati adds another, but Stadler onto it there, throw in for Lane United. Or the foul. It's a tough job. And we don't have the angles here that he does down there. Coffee dribbling in space, slides it for Tyrone. Tyrone plays the quick ball forward for Daley Stevens. Can't keep it alive, but will try to win it back. Headed forward from Stadler. Now off Chubb for Tall's head, and Daley gets to it first. Covers a lot of space, does Daley Stevens. Now back for Binder to Vanderveld, but it's a giveaway, and now 2-on-2. Binder chasing to make it a 2-on-3 break, and Red's able to collect it. Coffee now back to the middle for Binder. And back to Coffee, forward, and here's Chubb for Tall. Slid in, did Northover. He goes flying down. Daley Stevens touches it to Tyrone. Back for Daley. Tyrone tugged down. Foul coming, or foul called, free kick coming. Nothing more than that.
Let's see if Carlos Terron, the next one now taking the free kick, is able to make a good deliver and to put a good ball to all those numbers in the box. This is a great opportunity for the Reds.
A lot of height on that one from Tyrone, but maybe dangerous still. Stevens trying to head it forward. Comes back for Binder, and now the long clearance from Calgary. This is dangerous, as having to go back to get it as Noonkester now heads it towards Willis, who will collect. Willis, and we're back underway. Headed again, Calgary. Stadler moves it forward. rolls for Bauche. Chubb for Tall with a touch and towed back by Calgary. Taron there in with time. Stadler now to Binder. Last quarter of an hour.
And this is a complicated moment for the Reds, of course, because you want to be much more aggressive, but you don't want to concede a goal. And because, again, you can just score a goal in 15 seconds, and instead if you concede, it's going to be too much of a difference.
And here's a break, counter-attacking from Calgary. They'll slide the ball in. Very difficult, and ooh, they went for the shot. Pasquati was streaking in space. Instead, it's an easy save for Willis.
Yeah, there were many other options, but fortunately for the Reds, Ramsey, he didn't get a good shot, and it was easy saved by Ben Willis. And it's getting the moment in which Stefan Tomasevic is going to get into the field for the Reds for these last 15 minutes. So one more player in advance, one more player up top is going to be for number 24, Nathan Brayden.
And one more big target as well for those set piece plays. Tomasevic, the hero last night with his header.
Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go for the long balls. The Reds have been playing well, better soccer in this second half. So you just have to continue to move the ball, to utilize Daly Stevens, Matthias Binder for through balls. And then eventually, hopefully, Tomasevic can get one of those balls and put the ball in the net.
It's Calgary creating attack through Ramsey here, or Fisher rather. Back to Northover. Bauche has a little bit of time before the walls closed in on him. Now back to Northover. 78th minute. Calgary playing with the 1-0 lead, looking to regain sole possession of first place. They do it as it stands now. Technically, they were in first entering the game with goal difference, but level on points were Lane United. Taron gets it in. Intercepted Adekumbe. And back now for Adekumbe, and now slid to the wing. Hyams for Bauche. Zakaria with a brief touch now to the corner again, and Vandervelde does a good job to slide in there, knocks that one into touch. Corner kick's not great, but it's better than that was.
A few moments ago, coming in for number 24, Nathan Bodden. Number 26, Stefan Tomasevic.
And here's where Tomasevic can help you defensively as well on these corner kicks.
Absolutely.
Looks like the tallest player on the field at the moment.
Let's see the near post. Yes.
They do go for that near post and came down. Will roll harmlessly in the end into touch. And another substitution coming. This will be Kobos exiting, or yes, Kobos.
A substitution for Lane United FC once again, coming in for number 9, Alberto Cobos. Number 19, Rolando Velasquez.
So two very different forwards for Lane United now. A big target and then a speedy, smaller one in Velasquez. It's that age-old formula of the big and the little. But now it's Calgary's throw as we inch toward the final 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Velasquez gives a different dynamic to the attack of the Reds. He can go 1v1 against Foothills defenders, and it's another more player to make available in advance in order to create combinations, of course.
Pasquati was rising to try and get the header there. Couldn't do it, but Teron had to knock that one into touch. And dangerous still for Calgary. Another shot comes through, and Coffey's header toward touch. Daly can't catch up with it. Another throw in for Calgary, 81st minute. 170 minutes of very entertaining soccer so far in this back-to-back. 10 important ones left. Velasquez couldn't get that one. Now Lane United take possession. And they'll lose it just as quickly, but they'll draw the foul there. And now a card coming out. Ball back for Nuncaster. Little bit casual on the movement up forward for Chubb Fertal there. Got it back to Stadler, who'll try and play it along the far side sideline to Vandervelde. Into touch, Lane United's throw in front of their own bench. Vandervelde inches forward a few steps before the throw. And Binder trying to win it back for Lane United. Velasquez now trying to win it back, but he knocked it into touch. And it's a throw for Calgary, 82nd minute.
Let's see if...
Or in fact, a foul whistled there, excuse me.
Yeah. Let's see if Lane United can, again, emotionally come back to the game and impose their will, impose their hunger in order to tie the game, so that they are here at home and they want more than Foothills. Foothills has been very, very savvy in these last minutes, slowing down the game and putting on where they want at this moment of the game.
Reds trying to knock it away. It's still Calgary's ball. The long shot is up and nearly into the baseball field. Chubb Fertal back to Stadler again. Still time. Like you said, you can score in 15 seconds. Tomasevich knocked that one forward, cleared away by Calgary, but Tirona interrupted the progress before it's knocked up the pitch again by Foothills. It's the Reds' throw, quickly taken by Stadler, back for Ben Willis.
And as a player, you know that, but when you are not getting the ball enough, when you are not with the possession, you kind of forget and just become anxious and go for the long balls. And that's not the solution. There is still a lot of time. There are still a lot of plays to be played here. So it's about getting again the flow of the game more than those long balls, in my opinion.
Well, Stadler does play one of those long balls, and Calgary got there first, but then Daly Stevens got onto it, and Velasquez knocks that one into touch. Dean Northover to take the throw in. It's a long one down the pitch, and Teron got his head to it, bounces around a few bodies. Now Bauche will slide that one. Adekumbe running onto it. Adekumbe and Nuncaster, or Vandervelde there. Tomasevich running onto it. Coffey trying to get possession and kicked in the shoulder there, is trying to reach around and poke at it was Fisher, but the referee didn't like it. Binder on the ball. Binder for Vandervelde. Now back to Coffey, and Bauche got a foot to it. Bauche with a bit of a push there, and just a whistle, nothing more from the referee. A little bit hard to determine exactly what Mr. Brooks's tendencies are. Coffee in possession. Ball to the wing for Vandervelde and just cleared into the other field by Calgary. Vandervelde plays the ball toward the box. Tomasevic knocks it down, and there is a whistle there. Which direction are we going to go?
It's free kick for Foothills. Now take Tomasevic out of that circle, and yeah, and so everybody calm down. You don't need any other yellow card or red card beyond the decision of the ref, and it's a yellow card because of the play, but just not complicate more the things. Because at the same time, this is just taking more time for the Reds, and this is all Foothills need and all Foothills want.
And in fact, we'll have the trainer called out here with the Foothills player on the pitch.
Official player monitoring system that allows our coaches and training staff to monitor our players' health and prevent injuries.
Never like to see anyone get hurt. Is that, I think it's Bauche who's down there. Now Bauche is standing.
It's number 2 Northover, and I think he's fine, luckily enough, of course. And at the same time, also, Stefan Tomasevic is talking quietly with another player, so that's what you want. And now, when the whistles goes, again, you keep playing because there are still 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes, and there is still a great chance to get a point in this game. So let's see if the Reds are able to do that.
And Northover helped to his feet. We'll look toward the Calgary bench. Do not see a sub up there.
So there have been at least 2 minutes because of this interruption. Hopefully the referee take care of this situation, and then this game should have at least 2 minutes plus 4 substitutions, at least another 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time.
I think it should be about 12 minutes personally. 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah, actually both of us are just making our wishes, so
yeah.
Who knows?
I think yours perhaps a little more realistic than mine. Stadler playing it forward there and going down perhaps a little easily there, but enough to draw the whistle was Pasquati. Velasquez certainly has an opinion.
I agree with your call. Yeah, Foothills is managing these last minutes very well. Unfortunately, it's detrimental for the Reds.
Headed forward, and Nooncaster has to knock that one into play. Northover back, and he'll take the throw. Played to the middle and towed away. Tomasevic heads forward. Adakumbe. Towards Ramsey. And that's into touch. It's Calgary's throw. 90th minute plus X. You'd like to think at least a solid 3-4 minutes. 2 minutes alone just from the one injury we've had, and plenty of other substitutions and stoppages. Stadler keeps it alive, plays the long ball up for Velasquez. Another Calgary throw. Hyams will take it in absolutely no hurry. Bauche knocks it down, and Calgary pressuring an attack. Another foul against Lane United.
Well, how to close the games is another art of this game, and Foothills is doing it to perfection.
Yeah, they really have.
At this point, it's all you can say that they are really into their way, and now they have a free kick, but they are taking the free kick to keep possession. There is time for the rest to create at least one or two chances.
And that's a goal kick, so here's the opportunity. Ben Willis will get us restarted. Looks like he will try to play it long. Adakumbe there, and Binder knocks it back down. Vandervelde trying to move forward. Velasquez into touch, Lane United throw in, and that will be a yellow card for kicking the ball away, time wasting there. Nooncaster. Ball in, Taron there, and McCaw is allowed to use his hands, so he's always going to have the significant advantage on that, but we saw Taron create the goal from kind of a similar circumstance yesterday, so certainly can't fault the pressure. Headed forward now, Binder. Binder will play long. Tomasevich trying to win it. Coffey also there. Coffey is in fact on the ball with Hyams and Bauche on him. Bauche pulled it away, and his whistle for the foul, and now we'll stand over, and now we've got some pushing and shoving, and everyone coming together. Fourth official looks like is even onto the pitch to make sure he doesn't need to get in front of anybody. And Ben Willis is coming all the way forward. He'll give his view of the situation.
Too much time we have been talking about the referee, and I don't think it's a good sign because.
And it's a yellow will go against Vandervelde as well for
but
after the play.
All these yellow cards are after the game, are in the last part of the game, are consequences of the way you have been officiating the game, and are not beneficiating the flow of the game.
Well, the fans trying to make some noise. Ben Willis is in the box as a target for the header. The goal wide open at the other end, and the referee again. There's the whistle ready for play. Reds will wait till they're all standing up again. Someone falling down, ball's in, and headed by Calgary. They will just knock it all the way down. Willis has to chase to get this one. He's got some pressure from Zator. Now back for Daly Stevens. Stevens plays the long ball. Tomasevich heads it forward. Stadler there, and Stadler whistled for the foul. The company line here is that I don't have the best view of the play, and I'm really not supposed to say much more than that. McCaw will send his troops forward before putting his foot through it. The referee's had enough. That's the end of the game. So we're right back where we started at the beginning of the weekend. Tied, or 3 points back, is Lane United of Calgary. The Foothills FC regains sole possession of first place, and they still have a game in hand on basically the rest of the league. But still a lot of games left for everybody, and a lot left that Calgary has to do to defend things. Reds do still sit in second place. We'll see how that works to the end of the weekend, because the Sounders, who are in third, have a game in hand on the Reds. But, you know, good position, and it's been an entertaining 180 minutes of soccer. Certainly some drama tonight from a lot of different reasons, but the one goal in the second minute, that was enough. And the final score here is going to be 1-0 in favor of Calgary. Any final thoughts for us?
Sometimes in soccer, we have seen this before. You deserve something more than you get. And I think that maybe looking into perspective, the Reds get a little bit more than they deserved yesterday. Mm-hmm. And today was a little bit the opposite. They got just a bad situation at the beginning of the game, in which Foothills capitalized. And from that on, it was just a battle. In the second half, the Reds put the game on their advantage. But then in the last 15-20 minutes, there was very little game, very little play. It was just too many faults, too much interruptions, and that was just beneficial for the Foothills, who at the same time show that they are able to manage and to close the games. So that's also a sign of a good team, a team that is able to win games, as they have done so far in the season. But again, they are still both top 3, top 4, and I think that's the position that the Reds deserve, and they are going to continue to battle for that.
And look, you know, you go into this game, if you're the Reds, you know you have the potential to take sole possession of first place. Would have been by far the latest in the season that the Reds have ever been able to see that. But there's still really an uncharted territory here. The playoffs are still absolutely in play. An Open Cup berth still absolutely in play. The division title is still absolutely in play. There's plenty of season left. So, you know, it's been strong for the Reds. You would have liked the win tonight, but a big win yesterday, and to split the 6 points across 2 games is still a strong result at home. That's going to do it for us. Like we said, hard-fought game. Reds maybe got a teeny bit more than they deserved yesterday and don't get quite as much as they deserve today. And over the course of the season, that stuff's pretty much all going to come out in the wash. So one final big thank you.
We're not willing to make that. We're not willing to make that.